few years ago, Rapid Rich Vogler made his way into the USAC record books when he won both the sprint and the midget title in the United States Auto Club. Rich, welcome here to Santa Fe this weekend, and why don't you tell us a little bit about the sprint car? I think the first thing that people think of when they see these cars right offhand is how compact they are. They're very small. You've got a very small wheelbase here.
Yeah, the wheelbase is around 8 feet. They're about 4.5 feet wide, and they're 350 cubic inches and right at 6 to 650 horsepower, so they're a very powerful little car.
They are a very powerful car. Let's take a look inside now here. There's not really much inside the car to keep you occupied because you're plenty occupied when you're on the track.
That's right. You have a one-shift lever that puts the car in gear or out of gear, and of course that's why we have to have a push truck to start it. And there's two simple gauges, oil pressure and water temperature, and that's about all you have to do. You have to kind of keep your eye on the gauges, and you have to naturally keep your eye on your competitors when you're out on the track.
Rich, you've been racing primarily midgets and sprints the last couple of years, but you've been trying to get into champ car racing. You've been involved with jet engineering this year, but with very limited success. What's your outlook for the future in that?
Well, it's really hard to get into champ car racing now because it's gotten to the point now where the car owners expect the driver to bring $100,000 or even more, up to $1 million with him when he comes to drive the race car. They've got to the point where there's a few car owners. Well, Ralph Wilkie, leader card out of Wisconsin, he doesn't sell his rides. He hires a driver on his ability to drive. But most of the car owners, they don't. It doesn't matter how you can drive a race car or what you've driven. If you've driven a Formula Ford in SCCA and you want to come to Indianapolis, if you can bring a check with you, you can get a ride. And that's my problem. I'm too busy sprint car racing, midget racing, trying to make a living. And I just haven't had time to go out and find a sponsor for an IndyCar ride.
In other words, you're saying that perhaps there's as much competition off the track in Indianapolis car racing as there is on the track.
There's actually more competition off the track. Nowadays, if you go to the last month of May, in the morning when all the drivers arrive, Al Unser, Bobby Unser, and A.J. Foyt come in their T-shirt and blue jeans, and a few of those guys, Johnny Rutherford, Johnny Parsons, people like that. But most of the guys show up in their limousine with a tie on and come to the racetrack to drive a race car, and they're more occupied making money and finding sponsorships than they are learning how to drive a race car.
Rich Vogler from Indianapolis looking for yet another sprint car win here tonight at Santa Fe. They're the point leaders so far in USAC sprints this year. And Sheldon, these are very small, compact, powerful cars, but they're also very safe. What kind of safety features are implemented in these cars?
Well, they used to run them without the cages, and once they put the cages on, it made the cars 3 times as safe as they used to be. And we also run the sidebars, so if you do get parked in the corner somewhere or other and someone does try to get in with you, it kind of keeps them out.
So these cars are extremely safe, despite their appearance of perhaps being otherwise.
Well, they are. You figure how many runs all over the United States each weekend or 3 nights a week, and you don't really hear of that many people getting hurt for as many cars as they are running.
You also, besides running the sprints and midgets, have been involved in champ car racing in the past. What kind of aspirations do you have for that in the future now?
Well, I didn't have anything to run last year. The year before, we run 6th at the Speedway, and it's just a matter of digging you up a good sponsor. The cars cost so much money to run that, you know, a millionaire can't even stay up with one. He's got to be 3 times a millionaire to be able to afford one. So it's just a select few people that'll spend that much money out of their own pocket. It comes down to the sponsor situation.
Number 1 corner. Down the back chute now. Here they are. Into your leader. Gary Gray hanging on to second, Gray in the number 2 spot. Oh, a car in front of it. He bangs the wall down in turn.
You can leave it on.
Leave it on? Sure, that's coming.
Oh, wow.
I can't control it on.
Yeah, it's all right.
Jim Bolles, the driver, in turn number 1. And he's okay. He's climbed out of the car, so Jim Bolles is all right.
You got Jeff?
Ooh, he took a lick, though. Bolles' car now being brought in on the hook. And he tagged that wall down in turn number 1. Here's the field now, setting up once again in turn number 3 and 4. Back on the green. Oh, the war rages on for the number 2 spot. Too deep off the corner and halfway down that back straightaway. Larry Barton now moves his machine up into the number 2 position. Larry Barton running second. Schrader trying to do it up on the high side of the racetrack. Goes up to third. So Schrader on the move now. Schrader again on the high side. Using the bottom of the cushion to get around. Comes down the back straightaway. And Schrader moves up to the number 2 spot. So Kenny Schrader now running second as the white flag gets out. With one more lap to go. One more turn around. So gets on his final lap. Looking good now. Colorful little Thunder Makers ready to have at it. Al Thomas, Dan Milburn, Bill Tyler, Bimbo Atkins, Chuck Gurney, and Sheldon Kisner. All together now. Looking good as they move nicely down into turn number 3 and 4. Off the number 4 corner. On Zabin, looks him over, puts him on the green. Milburn, your early on leader. Not by much as they come off of turn 2 and hustle down that back straightaway. Milburn now throws the machine into the corner. Off of turn 4 and the completion of lap number 1. Milburn, still your leader. Bill Tyler running second as they run tight. Oh, and Sheldon Kinzer up to third. Kinzer now sets his sights on the leader. Here they are. Bill Tyler. Tyler, your leader, as they move down into turn number 2. Here's Kinzer to the inside. Kinzer now moves up to second. Al Thomas rounding out the field as Kinzer now goes after the leader down the back straightaway. Kinzer moving in on the leader. Bill Tyler and Kinzer now. Tyler leads him off of turn 2. Gurney has moved up to third now. Kinzer going to cut on the high side. Kinzer using the cushion of the racetrack. Oh, he sets forward down that back straightaway. Moves down on the inside of Bill Tyler. Tyler shuts the door on him as they come through turn number 4. Kinzer. Down the back chute now. Kinzer again on the inside. Tyler now trying to shut the door again on him, but one more lap to go. One more turn around. looking good now. Manny Wackel, Harry Truesdale, Terry Fletch, Larry Rice, Dave Pepperak, Dick Goldberg ready to go at it on the green. Oh, tight together. Truesdale early on leader. Truesdale pulls them off the corner and down the back straightaway. Oh, car in trouble. Breaks it out. Larry Rice nestled into the number 2 spot. Manny Wackel is third. Truesdale hangs on to the lead. Here they are again. So it's Truesdale, Rice, Colbert, Pepperak, Fletch in that order as they go down the right straightaway. Truesdale building himself up a healthy lead off of turn number 4. Truesdale continues up on the point. Larry Rice nestled into a solid second. Colbert hangs on to third. Here they are. Field now stretches out just a bit. Battle shapes up for the number 3 spot between Colburn and Pepperak. Or check it, Rockhold at Colburn. Here they are. Eric Truesdale with Larry Rice in pursuit now. Rice moving in on him. Rice continues now to move in on Truesdale as they head down that back straightaway. Rice in the coat machine. Here he is. One more lap to go. Oh, Rice has got his work cut out for him if he wants to pull it off. Truesdale still up on the point. And to the checkers. Here they are. Truesdale shuts the door on Larry Rice and takes up the win.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's great. I've been playing around with the cameras. Started out playing with my brothers. Worked my way up video. So, I love the sport of racing. I've been around it all my life.
All right, showtime. That's Trudeau. Gay Rollinson, Steve Long,
Credit.
Ron Schumann, Rich Vogler, Joe Saldana. They're ready to go. On the green and underway.
Plus program director at the racetrack.
Now the back straightaway. Here they are now. Ooh, easy does it as they hammer down into turn numbers 3 and 4. Steve Long is your leader. Steve Long out of Indianapolis. He's the leader. Oh, turn numbers 2 and down that back straightaway. Over now. Richie Vogler down the inside. Vogler now goes to the high side of the racetrack. Richie Vogler. Vogler now threading the needle down to the inside of Steve Long. Long shuts the door on him, but Long gets up on the high side. Vogler to the inside, can't quite pull it off. Robbie Schumann now moving. Schumann running third, running with the leaders as they come over turn number 2. Vogler again tries to thread the needle and do it. Long again shuts the door on him. Here they are in turn number 4. All right, trouble gets back underway. Nicely done as Vogler again does some heads-up racing, and Richie Vogler now goes into the lead. Vogler, who's got hard down into the follow-on, but he's back underway as your leader now moves into turn number 4, the completion of lap number 1. transfer to the feature. The rest are through for the night. All ready to go now. Let's watch them. Here they are, down in turn number 3 and 4. Look at Schmidt trying to cut down on the as they get the green. Again, Bolas hangs on, and Schmidt comes up on the high side of the racetrack. On the back straightaway, Bolas gets the note on him again. Here's your leader, Saldana, with one more lap to go. Oh, Schmidt now drops off the pace. Bolas looking pretty good. Top 4, move on of turn 2, and down the back straightaway. Oh, the rest up can pack it in because here comes the top 4 off of turn number 4, Saldana. Timberlake, Agam, and Bolas transferring.
You've been doing that a lot lately.
What?
I'm going to turn the camera on. I always got a zoom button.
All right, as they move off of turn number 4, the drivers will raise their hands into the air to salute to those of you here tonight. Now, I'll tell you what, let's get ready to wave back and wish well to your favorites with both hands. Hats, programs, checkered flag. Let them see you right now, everybody. Oh, you did a nice job. We'll do the same over the back straightaway. You'll have that opportunity this time. Let's watch it now. Let them see over the back straightaway. Oh, they're doing a good job over there. Well done. Let's watch them now. 30 lap feature event. Thunder and Lightning Division of the United States Auto Club, the sprint cars are now underway. 30 lap feature event. Gurney up high on the racetrack. Takes Spencer up near the wall, but they straighten it out and thunder down the back straightaway into the bonsai pipeline. Let's watch them now. Here they are at the completion of lap number 1. Off the corner. Chuck Gurney, still your leader, up on the point as he sets sail down the back straightaway. So the top 3 is Chuck Gurney, Steve Kinzer, Kenny Schrader, the top 3 in that order. Down the back chute they go. Gurney now starts to move out ahead of Steve Kinzer. Kinzer out of Bend, Missouri now. Running in the number 2 spot. Sheldon Kinzer rounds out the top 4. Chuck Gurney starting to string it out just a bit. Kinzer working hard to move up on the leader. Kenny Schrader is running third. And Joe Harry trouble here on the main straightaway. 2 of them hook up. Oh, and they unhook. Beautiful job as they had hooked up wheels and got back on the way. And they're ready again on the turn number 2. Morris was involved. Mullins evidently feeling the car, having problems, brings it in. Now we'll keep our eyes on Kinzer as he pursues Chuck Gurney. Gurney, the California racer.
I'm ready to catch up to him. More race.
Now Kinzer's trying to move out, and what Kinzer is doing is using the inside of the racetrack. And he draws up right alongside of Gurney. Gurney pulls him down the back straightaway. Now Gurney goes to the inside. This uses the cushion to take him around. Let's see what he does this time. Again, up on the cushion. No, he goes well. He's just got to run the middle groove. And this time, Johnny goes hard. The kids are running right with him. Again on the 2-liter battling as they move into turn number 4. Again, Sheldon Kinzer trying to move in on the leader, Chuck Gurney. And Kinzer's got him on the brake too, but Gurney coming back on him on the high side. Battle continues between Chuck Gurney and Steve Kinzer. Gurney still up on the point. Steve Kinzer running a tight second. Steve Kinzer now goes to the high side again, using the cushion on the racetrack. Still can't quite pull it off. Again, they thunder down into turn number 3 and 4. Kinzer still unable to play catch up to Gurney. Oh, Kenny Schrader, who was running well. Car has now stopped. He's rolling into the pit area. And Schrader was looking real good, running in the number 3 spot. And again, Steve Kinzer goes to the outside. Kinzer trying to put the move on Gurney. Still can't quite do it. Now he's got it to head down the back straightaway. So Steve Kinzer has now moved into the lead. But Gurney comes back, takes the lead away. Kinzer's got it again. As these two continue this personal battle going on between them down into turn number 2. This time it's Kinzer who leads them down the back straightaway. Gurney running right with him. The two of them again in turn number 4. This time Kinzer stays right on the lip of the racetrack. Gurney again to the inside. Gurney trying to the high side now. Chuck Gurney still can't do it. Down the back straightaway they go. Kinzer tries to shut the door on him. And Gurney is deep to the inside of the racetrack. And Steve Kinzer leads the field. Chuck Gurney running second. As they pass right the middle through the forward cars. Can't quite get the job done. Now Kinzer comes to the inside. And boy, he's really trying to deal here. The two of them are side by side again with a car between them now. Kinzer and Gurney continue to have at it. Gurney not giving up the ship at all. Again, they head down the back straightaway. And again, Gurney comes to the inside. Chuck Gurney. Kinzer pulling off one of those tail-off pointers. California. And 20 now. Back up on the point. Gets up to the inside. And remember, they're doing it as they go through some pretty thick traffic. Here they are again now, rounding up turn number 4. Gurney in the middle of the racetrack. Gets to the inside, go to the high side. This time Kinzer goes to the inside. He's back in the lead now. Down the back chute, Gurney your leader. Chuck Gurney, Steve Kinzer continue at it. Here they are. Gurney your leader. Kinzer running right with him, both using the same groove. On that final lap now, as they come to the checker. Chuck Gurney is your leader in turn number 4. To the checkers. Chuck Gurney wins it. Steve Kinzer finishing second. Oh, and what a dandy.
That was a race.
That was a big race.
Got it off?
Chuck Gurney
Huh?
and Steve Kinzer putting on a show for you here tonight.
Hold it just one more time. I am. Attaboy.
Chuck Gurney, the winner here in the feature tonight. A tremendous race with Steve Kinzer down at the finish. Chuck, it didn't look like you were going to get him, but you finally, after changing the lead 3-4 times on the 28th lap, overtook him.
Well, I found the racetrack. I was trying to run down low most of the time, and it was just sliding, so I got up high about the middle of the track, and I was running on the wet marbles, and I was starting to work better through the turns than he was, and we got in traffic, and he went high and I went low, or vice versa, and I just got him.
You got helped out a little bit by a back marker there, didn't you?
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, and it's a tight turn racetrack, and you didn't know where to go, and I just happened to get through.
Said you didn't know where to go. You were down low earlier in the race, and it seemed like he got around you after taking a high side. Then once he got in the lead, he took the low side of the track, and you went up high and beat him.
That's exactly what happened. Our motor wasn't running in mid-range, and it was right when I picked the throttle up in the turn, it was blubbering, and that hurt a little bit, so I had to keep the RPMs up, and running up high helped me out.
This has got to be a tremendous boost now to your team for the rest of the year in USAC sprints, is it not?
This is the first time I drove the car, and it's the only time I'll drive the car. I'm going to run Knoxville tomorrow, and then the World Outlaw at Eldora and Knoxville later. That's Johnny Parsons' regular ride as of now, so I don't know.
Chuck Gurney, a first-time winner here at Santa Fe. First time he's ever been in the car.
Yeah, good race.
So we had a gentleman.
Yeah. Good race.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, there wasn't no problem. You've been there way clean. You got plenty of no problem.
They're just a tremendous race tonight with Chuck Gurney, and unfortunately, you came up on the short end. It seemed to be a race where the guy who took the high side of the racetrack ended up winning it. When Gurney led early, he was down low, and you beat him by getting up in the higher part of the racetrack, and that's the way he took it on the 28th lap with the help of a lap car.
Yeah, I pulled down the bottom. I thought the top might be going away a little bit, but I guess I should have kept it up there and tried to got a lap car in between us and stuff. But I made a few mistakes in the race, and Chuck drove just one well of a race.